Yo, what's up, guys? It's your boy Noble Living. Welcome to another episode of DYF Bets, where I'm trying to give out my best bets and my best plays for you today. So this way you can make money, the best way by watching sports, by watching your favorite teams. I know it's been a little bit since I've dropped a video. Getting back into the swing of things. I've been traveling, and then really, I was going through a little funk. You ever go through a funk as a bettor where you're losing some games and you're just trying to get your mojo back? You're trying to get back into the swing of things. So I was like, all right, let me stop making videos. Let me stop worrying about trying to put out picks and stuff on videos and just really focus on winning some picks real quick. College basketball just got started, so I really wanted to get back into a rhythm and a swing. NFL has been a little bit rough for me this year. So for me, I just really wanted to get locked in and focus with my best and my favorite sport here. And that's where I am now. I'm ready to go. I'm locked in. And then so I'm going to be coming with these videos for you guys. It might not be daily, but I want to be able to be more consistent with it, drop these videos for you. And because it's been a little while since I dropped my last video, check out this video right here. It's a video that I made where I break down how to find value in your sports betting picks, because sometimes it's not about just the games that you're betting, it's the odds that you're taking these games at that really help you grow your bankroll over time. So check out that video. Can't wait to be able to help you guys become better bettors. And as always, let's continue to get better and let's win some money today. So for today, I have one best bet, and then I've got a 10x parlay for you guys, all right? My 10x parlay, let's dive into it real simple, real quick. I took everything in college basketball today. Now, for me, like NBA, I'm making this video in the morning. That's another thing I've been working on, is trying to get these videos out earlier, so this way you guys have time to watch the videos before like the games happen. I typically do my research in the evening. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like if the games start at like 5, 6 o'clock, I'm doing my research at like 2, 3, 4 o'clock. I like it closer to game time. I might not get as good of a value on the line. I might not get certain things, like the certain lines might move, like especially on props. But for me, with that, especially with the NBA injuries and things like that, I got to make sure who's playing and who's not before I put in the bet. But I'm going to try out today an early 10x parlay. And then, I will also have my best bet as well. And then let's see how it goes with college basketball. So that's why I don't have any NBA games on here, is because with the lineups and injuries, I have to wait a little bit closer towards game time. But join the Telegram, because I'm pretty sure I'll have a game in there as well that I'll drop a little bit closer to live time or right before the games. Like I dropped last night's a bonus at like 10 o'clock right before they got started, over 5.5 assists. He finished with 7 assists. That's a straight cash winner. But you're only going to get that if you're inside the Telegram, because, I can't drop that fast enough or drop a video on that quick enough. All right, here we go. First play in the 10x parlay. This might catch a few people off guard, but I really like it, okay? We've got Iowa playing Seton Hall. This is a matchup between two teams that play differing styles, literally. Iowa is vetting to be one of the best offenses in entire college basketball. I mean, they are putting up numbers at an ungodly rate. I mean, in the first game of the year, they played Bethune-Cookman. They dropped 89 in that, and then they dropped 112 on North Carolina A&T. So they're averaging like over 90-something points a game. Now, that's not sustainable. I'm expecting some aggression. And where's that regression going to come? That regression is going to come in this game against Seton Hall. You know why? Because Seton Hall is a team that I've been watching all year. They've been making me money on their first few games. But also, I love their coach. If you guys know, that mid-major last year, St. Peter's, that went away to the Elite Eight that everybody loved, guess what? Their coach, Shaheen Holloway, he's now at Seton Hall. The reason why that St. Peter's team went to the Elite Eight was not just because they were a miracle Cinderella story, but it's because of their defense. And the Seton Hall defenders, guess what? That is what is being implemented. Holloway's implementing this system with Seton Hall, where he has a lot better athletes and who are a lot bigger and a lot faster and a lot stronger, okay? Now think about this. Last year on his St. Peter's team, he had the Defensive Player of the Year, Casey Ndefo, right, for the MAC Conference. He transferred with the coach to Seton Hall, so he's got him now. Instead of playing the center, he's playing the 4. And then he also has a few other transfers from Clemson, Louisville, and Pitt that are helping build out this lineup. His offensive line, I'm talking about football offensive line. His offensive lineup, or his starting 5, are literally everywhere from 6'6" all the way to 6'10". So he has the length and the athleticism to really implement his defensive principles, and we've seen that play out in their first two games. And Seton Hall is playing at home today, so because of that, I like Seton Hall on the money line against Iowa. I'm taking the better defense at home. Now, Iowa, they can definitely fill up the stat sheet. They can definitely fill it up, and if they're hitting and they're not missing shots, it's easy for this bet to lose. But again, I got to go with the better defense at home, so give me Seton Hall on the money line. All right, the second pick of the 10x parlay. I've got four legs to this thing, and I've got it at plus 908 odds, okay? So it's not a full $1,000 winner, but it's still four legs for $908. And the second leg of the parlay is I took Seton Hall money line. I'm following up with another money line here, and it's another marquee matchup. I'm not a big fan of marquee matchups in college basketball at this time of the year. I think there's enough value in the non-conference schedule between like inferior opponents and like ranked teams for you to make a lot of good money. But right now, there are not a lot of first half lines on Bovada up. I do like a lot of the games first half, like St. Mary's first half, Houston first half. Like those are a few games that I like, but because I have to go with the games that I got access to, I'm going with Texas on the money line against Gonzaga. Now, you're probably like, bro, Gonzaga is the best team in college or one of the top best teams. Why are you going against them? Well, according to KenPom, Gonzaga is ranked number 3 and Texas is ranked number 2. The reason why Texas is ranked number 2 is because they've got their best defense. Chris Beard is there for his second season. If you don't know who Chris Beard is, he's the coach that led Texas Tech to the NCAA championship game several years ago because of their defense. And this year, he has more transfers and he has a better roster. He has 2 5-star recruits now that he's able to implement his full system now in his second year down there in Texas. Now, Gonzaga's a great team. They're going to win their conference like usual. They're going to put up a great fight. They're going to have a decent run in the NCAA tournament. No doubt about it. But Gonzaga's not the team that we're used to seeing, all right? We know it's Drew Timmy's team, but truthfully, that Gonzaga team didn't look too good against Michigan State. They pulled it out, but they have to figure out some things. And truthfully, I don't think this is the game that is best for them to figure it out. Texas has the better backcourt, yes, even though Gonzaga does have Timmy in the front court. I think the fact that Texas can force some turnovers here, they're going to really cause Gonzaga to have to play good, efficient offense because you know Gonzaga likes to get up and down the court. They want to score before your defense gets set up. I don't think that's going to be able to happen today. So because of that, give me Texas on the money line. We've got 2 legs of the 10x parlay down. Let me give you the last 2, okay? Now, this is the leg that I'm not the most confident in, but I can see it happening, and that's Cincinnati minus 5.5 against Northern Kentucky. Yes, I teased it down a few points because I think right now it's about minus 6.5 on the books. Now, Cincinnati's a great team. I think this is the year they go back to the NCAA tournament. It's the first time that they're going to probably be able to do it since 2019, since Cronin left. And truthfully, Cincinnati, they've got a lot of transfers that are coming into that program that are helping turn that thing around, all right? They've got their leading scorer from last year back, as well as their versatile forward in Davenport. But they also got transfers from Memphis and Noli, and then they also got an Old Dominion transfer as well as an Indiana transfer. So there are guys that are coming into Cincinnati that are used to playing Power 5 basketball, that are used to getting a lot of minutes, and they're going to be able to make an impact on this team right away. And we've seen that in their first 2 games, or 3 games. I don't really count Chaminade as a game. You know, that's an inferior D2 opponent. But Cleveland State, they win that game by 11. Eastern Kentucky, they win that game by 18. So they're putting away their opponents. They're not playing around with them, all right? And because of that, I like them to cover this spread against Northern Kentucky. I get Northern Kentucky's at home. Northern Kentucky's not a bad team. They're 1-1. They lost to a Kent State team that went absolutely yonkers when they played them. I mean, it's tough to beat a team that hits 13 threes, shoots 54% from the field. You know, it's tough to do that. And that's what Kent State did against Northern Kentucky. But they did that to them at Northern Kentucky's home. And guess what? Cincinnati's going to Northern Kentucky's home, and Cincinnati's better than Kent State to me. So because of that, give me Cincinnati minus 5.5 at Northern Kentucky as the third leg of the 10x parlay. Now, the fourth leg of the 10x parlay is also my best bet of the day. Now, truthfully, like I said, if I could get a few of the first half lines, like Houston or St. Mary's, that I'll probably take that, or I'll probably look for something else a little bit closer to the game time when I do a little bit more research, get a little bit more news in there. But I really like this pick, and I know it's going to be a little bit of a contrarian pick, but I'm confident in it. And that's Michigan versus Pittsburgh, but I'm taking the under, the 141 and a half. Now, I think the line right now is at maybe 140 and a half. You might be able to get 141 and a half, maybe tease it up a point or two if you want to buy yourself a little bit of extra juice there. I have no problem with that. But I do think this game goes under. And the reason why I think this game goes under for several reasons. Now, you're probably looking and saying, well, Noble, Michigan played Eastern Michigan last game. They scored 166 points combined. Why are you taking the under in this game? Well, that Eastern Michigan matchup versus Michigan, that's an interstate rivalry. You had Amani Bates who dropped 30 points. Dude was hooping. So, like, that was an outlier game to me, right? But if you looked at Michigan's first game against IPFW, right, Purdue Fort Worth, they went under the game in that game. The line on that was 150 and a half. Well, guess what the final score of that game was? 75-56. I think that's 137 points or something like that. So they went under like 13 points on that total. Now look at Pittsburgh's game. The first game of the year against UT Martin, the line was 140 and a half. They go under in that game, only scoring 138, okay? Now, West Virginia was their second game. They lose that game. They get smacked in that game. The total was 134 and a half. They actually went over, but they went under this 140 and 1.5 total that I have in this game. So this is a team, both these teams play a little bit slower. They've been going under. They haven't been shooting the ball as well. Pittsburgh's only shooting 38% from the field, 25% from the three-point line. Michigan is shooting the ball 28% from the three-point line. Pittsburgh's been having a lot of turnovers. So I think this is a game that's more of a defensive battle. That's more of a slower-paced game. And because of that, I like it going under. Also, it's played at a neutral site at the Barclays Arena. If you if you don't know, like a little handicapping sports betting college basketball tip for you is pay attention to where games are played, because most times when they're played at a neutral site, especially in non-conference play, the games typically tend to go under. They're not used to the court. The arenas are bigger. Like, I don't know if anybody's hooped here before, but like, depending on where you've played and how big the arena is, can throw off your shot if you're not used to it, right? The courts are sometimes bigger, so especially when they're playing on those NBA-sized courts. I'm not saying it's not the same, but these games tend to go under, right, when they're playing at neutral sites. So that's another reason why I like the Barclays angle here as well on the under here. So give me Michigan and Pittsburgh under 141.5 as the last leg of the 10x parlay, but also my best bet of the day. All right. Well, that's it for me today, guys. Let me go over the 10S parlay one more time. We got Seton Hall on the money line. We've got Texas on the money line. We've got Cincinnati minus 5.5. And then we're taking the under 141.5 in Michigan and Pittsburgh. It's supposed to be a great day of college basketball. A lot of games on the slate. We've got a lot of NBA games as well. So I'll probably have a late night winner inside of those as well. Maybe a first quarter bet, maybe a prop bet. Not sure yet. But you know what? Definitely would love to help you out. So make sure you join the Telegram. Make sure you like and subscribe, and most importantly, let's make some money tonight. Love to hear some of the plays that you might have, so drop a comment below. Let me know what game you're looking at, and then as always, follow me on TikTok and Twitter for more sports betting tips, and let's become better bettors and make more money together. Let's get it and dictate your